Are they coming here?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's really good. Is it be a jam?
I haven't seen a punk rock band.
Is it a concert or Go-Go?
Yeah. Go, 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 go. So bad.
Very nervous. I'm really nervous now. Okay. Ginger, it's got that natural flush in my cheeks, that healthy glow. Everyone knows it's fake.
Ladies and gentlemen, the pride of I.R.S. Records, the pride of Los Angeles, it's time for the Go-Gos!
I think Jane thought of it one night, late at night, at Denny's on Sunset. She was with a bunch of friends. Everyone would go there after shows and stuff. And we sort of been like going over different names. Nothing really seemed right. We went over, was it the Misfits was going to be, because that's how we sort of felt at the time. But at that time, the Kinks came out with the Misfits, the album. I thought, no, everyone will think, we stole it from there. So the Go-Gos seemed to fit us. Okay, I was born at Hollywood Presbyterian Hospital, and lived here for about 5 years, and then I moved over to the San Fernando Valley, Burbank, and lived there for about 5 years, and then I grew up, most of my schooling was in Ventura County and Thousand Oaks, and I was a real good student, and I was a cheerleader. Does anybody have a cigarette? After we played, Jane and Belinda came backstage and asked me to join the Go-Gos. And at that time, I was thinking about quitting that band. And I said, well, maybe. And then I went to England for a couple of months, came back, and then went with them. When I was very, very young, in like first and second grade, I had an Elvis Presley record and Johann Strauss, Blue Danube Waltz. I would listen to both of them, like put one on, dance around, put the other one on, waltz around, That's like the first stuff I ever listened to on the record player. But the thing that really changed my life was this. And that was it. After that, I thought, okay, I want to be in a band.
So I invited him over to the house, and I just played a couple songs with him, and it was just so much fun. I think the first one I played with was Beatnik Beach, and it was, that's a great song, drum song. And I had the best time, so I quit the other two groups, and they fired their drummer, and I joined the next day. So it was destiny, I think. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and home of John Waters and Babe Ruth. And I just came out here about 2.5 years ago. And to make a long story short, I met the girls at a party. John Bonham and Charlie Watts. Because Charlie Watts was so straight, and he had perfect meter, and John Bonham was really crazy at it. He had the best foot around.
was approached by Charlotte about a year ago and asked if I could play bass. And I said yes. It was a big lie. But, you know, I learned anyway and just stayed with the group. Because I was supposed to be temporary, but then I turned into the real thing. I'm from Texas and been playing guitar for about 7 years. And I moved to L.A. 3 years ago in search of fame and fortune and the good life.
Everybody was in a band. I mean, it was like the cool thing to be in a band, and we were basically the only people left that weren't in a band. So we decided to do it too. Okay. I was born in a suburb of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And Oconomowoc it was called. That's Oconomowoc. And I lived in Wisconsin until I was 6, and then we moved to the suburb of Los Angeles, Woodland Hills, and that's where I've lived ever since, basically. Except for brief sojourns into Hollywood. But I'd always run out of money, and I'd have to move back home again.
Large family. There's 13 kids, 8 brothers and 5 girls. And I started playing piano when I was 4 years old.
I think I got an early interest in music because of my older brothers and sisters, because I looked up to them so much, and they were really into rock and stuff. So it was mostly the Beatles and then the Monkees when we moved to California. My sister and I were crazy about the Monkees. And in fact, we went to the Monkees manager got married at the church we went to, and so we snuck in and we saw all the Monkees. I sat near Davy Jones. I was so excited.
Wanda Jackson, I love. This is a great one. Dwayne Eddy, the coolest.
I never really had a role model when I was in high school. Or, you know, all the role models were guys. You know, there was really no female, you know, girls to, like, sort of look up to and identify with. But it's really funny, like, when I'm on stage, I know when the rest of us are on stage, we'll see these girls about, like, you know, 16, 17 out there, like, singing all the lyrics, like, all this feeling in their face, and it's really great. I wish I had someone that I could identify with.
It's a funny fashion to follow, but we've had people that are dressed like we are on the album cover with their faces and face masks and wearing towels around their head.
I used to play records and stand in front of a mirror. I didn't know how to play guitar or anything, but, you know, mimic it. Yeah, I'm sure a bunch of kids did that.
When I started listening to the folk music, I started trying to play the acoustic guitar, but I was really lame at it, and I gave up. So the first time I ever played electric guitar and tried to play bar chords and stuff like that was when we started the Go-Gos.
The only thing that was left for me was drums and singing, and I'm like I'm too lazy to play drums. So I thought, well, I might as well sing then.
It was the easiest instrument for me to play. I tried playing bass and guitar, which are sort of like hobbies for me.
The minute I picked this up, I was in New York at a store, and someone handed this guitar to me, and the minute I felt the neck, I knew, I have no idea, and now I understand when people talk about, like, wow, you know, this is the best guitar I've ever played because of this and that. I mean, it is. That's all there is to it.
Well, the song Our Lips Are Sealed came about because I was friends with the lead singer of the Specials, Terry Hall, and when we toured with them, we talked a lot about the loss of privacy that comes with success, and on our days off, Terry and I would walk around the towns, and he'd constantly get mobbed by people, and he being a pretty private person, it always bothered him. So anyways, I got this letter when I came back to the States, and he had enclosed some lyrics he'd written, and one of them was Our Lips Are Sealed, and it really impressed me. So I reworked the lyrics and wrote the music to it. And the funny thing about that song is that I had the song finished and parts written and everything for it for months before I showed it to the band, because I was apprehensive about showing it to them because I didn't know if it was good or not. So it's interesting that it turned out to be the hit single.
I sort of like fading fast, because I can relate to that about 10 times over in my life. It's like getting rid of, you know, people that I don't want to see anymore, and they keep on haunting you. So I can relate to that one pretty much.
London Boys was the first song I ever wrote, and it was just when the band started, and it's one of the few surviving songs from our early beginnings. At the time, it was before I'd ever gone to England, and all my life I'd been real enamored with, English boys, how much cuter they seemed to be than American boys, and so that's how that song got written.
The way you dance was inspired by this guy in Philadelphia about a year ago, or maybe 8 months ago. We were playing at this place called Emerald City, and we were up in this balcony portion of the place, and we looked down the dance floor, and there's this little kid that was so good looking. He was about 16 or 17 years old. All 5 of us were there, and he was dancing by himself. It was amazing. He was so cool. I went home that night and wrote the music for that song, most of the music, and that's where that came about.
I don't know, we're just going to keep working hard and not worry too much about direction or anything, because pretty much so far it seems to go along as it will and seems to go in the right direction, so that's how it is.
I'd like to make a great second album. If we can do that, then I'll be real happy. That'll be the best thing.
My life has been planned out for me for the next 2 years. I can tell you my schedule until September of next year, practically.
It's funny, even after playing them for about now, it's almost 3 years now, I still pretty much enjoy playing these songs. They're fun to play.